All right, obviously, very very difficult road game coming up after, we didn't play very well at home, so got to turn the page and play a lot better, play with more physicality. Got to try to find a way to score some points, which will not be easy. Won't be easy sledding, and so be a big challenge for us on Wednesday night.
Have you met with the team today?
Not yet today.
Okay. I was going to find out how the message was received, but if you could kind of elaborate into the message that you delivered yesterday.
I mean, just we've got to play better. We've got to be better with the details. We've got to stay connected as a group. We've got to quit making the same mistakes over and over again, and we got to be cleaner on both ends of the floor.
Will, how much is this a proven game for your defense, considering how Alabama was against y'all last year, and just showing that it's a real turning corner, turning the page kind of thing?
I mean, well, damn. I mean, our defense is the best in the country. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how much more we got to prove it, but I mean, certainly Alabama's offense is extremely potent, very very good, and to your point, they are built. The Quinterly can take advantage of the mismatches. J.D. Davison can take advantage of the mismatches. Shackelford can take advantage of the mismatches. So, they're built, and we're going to have to sit down and guard and stay in front of the ball. And Ellis can do the same thing. So, it'll be a challenge for the defense. But if our defense doesn't hold up at Alabama, doesn't mean our defense is all of a sudden terrible. It's just a lot of it's matchup based, and we're gonna have to do some different things against them than we've done this year.
I wasn't at the radio show last night, so a quick X update. How's he doing?
He's fine. He ran a little bit yesterday. He was in there again this morning, so he'll be game time decision tomorrow.
You talked about your defensive rebounding last night. When you look at it on film, is it lack of blocking out or not anticipating where the shot's going to fall? I mean, what is it? What do you see?
Lack of blocking out, lack of physicality.
Just I guess how much have you been able to just see just them since Saturday's loss, just kind of turn the page and just being able to kind of flush that one and just I guess focus towards Alabama. Have
Do
you
I
seen
look like
a
I've
shift
turned
in
the page and
focus?
flushed that one, Glenn?
What?
Do I look like I've turned the page and flushed
No,
that one?
no,
Huh?
I don't think so.
Okay. So you can't when you play like that. You can't just turn the page. That's not. That's what. That just doesn't work.
You had a long list last night of things. What is the major right now? I mean, free throw shooting, rebounding, defensive rebounding, turnovers. What is there any one thing or all three?
I mean, the one I've focused the least on is the free throw shooting. I've focused the most probably on the turnovers and the defensive rebounding. The turnovers are the. I think I said it last night. The simplest to get fixed. Like that's the most fixable issue that we have. The defensive rebounding is somewhat fixable, but the turnovers are very fixable. So I've spent a majority of my time yesterday trying to fix the turnovers. Um, I'm going to try again this afternoon when we get into practice. Like that's where I've put a majority of my time. It's look. I mean, look. Our defense. I said it last night. I mean, we're scoring like 60 points a game in SEC play. It's not. I mean, we can't just keep our defense can't just keep holding like that. At some point, it's just not going to work. And um, we've got to be able to manufacture some points.
You talked about the differing lineups contributing to your lack of offensive production. I guess what is it that you would like out of the guys when they're on the floor? Is it more recognition? Obviously, you talk about movement. I know that, but is it playing with patience, playing with a plan? What are you missing there?
Well, you got to play with some poise. We don't have very good precision of movement, as I would call it. Like we just move to kind of move. Like there's no precision to it. We cut like in a banana in circles instead of straight lines, and we don't. We guard ourselves. Um, I was telling one of them. I mean, we just look like a one-legged duck swimming. We just all the way around. We just move in the same spot over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so we we just gotta have better better movement. Um, it's been a problem for us all year. It's just now catching up to us when you're playing the best teams on your schedule, and you got other good athletes, and you got other good guys that can close things down.
Are there opportunities to get Tari more involved in just the half-court offense?
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to post up when they switch him like they did yesterday or the other night. He's got to post. He just stands down there. Like, he's got to post up, and we went over that with him. He guards himself sometimes, and I'm not saying we don't miss him sometimes when he is open. Like, we missed him sometimes, but other times he stands down there and he's not. He's got to be physical and post him up, or everybody's just going to switch him, and everybody's going to put smaller guys on him, and like he's got to work to get open too, and when he works to get open, I'll make sure the ball's getting down there. No, there's some things, and I got to help him out. I mean, we got to do a better job. I got to help him out. They're sitting on the right hand. People have figured it out, which is not hard to figure out. But I've got to open up some more driving lanes for him, which I'll do. It's not his fault. I mean, this is he's the focal point of a scouting report now, and so it takes him adjusting to, and he's going to adjust. He's a good player, but he's got to. When they switch, you can't just stand down there and hope the ball gets to you. Like, you've got to post them. You got to be physical, and then we got to have a guy flash. There's a couple times where we didn't have anybody flash. Like, you just, you may think you're open, but you're not open. There's backside help. There's all sorts of other things going on, and so we've got to be able to recognize that. And that's just the growing pains as a player. Days went through the same thing last year when they would switch the ball screens on him, and so it was just a different way of playing things, and there's ways to combat that, and we've talked about that with him. And like I said, Tari's sharp, Tari's smart. He's a great basketball mind. He's a great player, and he'll adjust. It's just going to take some time.
And then going back to Alabama real quick, obviously some change in their backcourt from last year, but is there any difference in really their style or anything,
No.
how they play offensively?
No, they do the same stuff. They shoot a bunch of threes. They don't take mid-range jump shots. They get to the rim. They're top 25 in the country getting to the rim. No, there's not much difference in what they're doing stylistically.
Do you feel that Saturday's performance had a bit to do with guys buying into all that outside noise and congratulations and the positivity they were getting in like the rankings and?
I don't know. I don't. No, I mean maybe, but we didn't play very well at Florida either. We just didn't get better last week, and that's frustrating to me. And I think we missed some opportunities last week to really take a step forward as a team, and that was disappointing. I don't know how much about the rankings and all that stuff. Will we fall out of them? Oh, I wish we'd have fallen out.
And I guess what's the dangers of going into an environment against a team that's on a 3-game losing streak? And
They're going to be desperate. We're going to get their best game. They're going to play as well as they've played all year. I have no doubt about that. Cornerly and Shackelford are going to play great. Like, it's going to be, That's why you'd like to have a little bit of runway going into the game by beating Arkansas. That would have been the prudent thing to do.
Well, whether it goes back to actually just the competition, last 2 games you've scored your least amount of points in the second half. What is the cause of that?
We turn the ball over too much. We take poor shots. I mean, pretty simple.
I think you said after the game, just the number of minutes that some of your guys were playing might have led to just kind of some of the just getting
we wear
bogged
down. I mean, we got guys out there. We've been trying to keep guys at 28 to 30 minutes. That's where we've been really good. I thought Arkansas had flipped the tables on us. We've kind of worn teams down. That last 9 minutes, we wore down against Arkansas, and so we haven't we haven't been able to use our depth with all the injuries and everything else that we got going on. We just haven't been able to use the depth to the level that we need to.
You talked about all the things that you need to fix when you're fixing them. Do you fix them with fundamental drills, or do you fix them with making them run sprints? How do you fix
fundamental drills? You don't fix anything with running sprints. It just makes me feel better. We didn't run a sprint yesterday. We did. One team lost in a competition and they ran a sprint, but that was it. Like that doesn't. What I want to do to make myself feel better is not what's best for the team. all the time. So you have to have the discipline to do what's best for your team. Sure, I'd love to have just run the hell out of them yesterday, put trash cans on either end, and whatever. But that doesn't help us move forward. That doesn't help us get better. That doesn't help us solve our turnover issue. It doesn't help us solve any of our issues. And so it's not what I would like to do to make myself feel better and say, oh, I did this, I did. No, it's what gives us the best chance to get these issues under control. And can we see some progress on Wednesday night at Alabama? Can we see some progress later on in the week on Saturday? That's my job, is to do what's best for our team and our program and our guys, to give us the best chance to cut this stuff out and be better in it.
You said last night the Florida game, you kind of could see this coming. I mean, you didn't want to rain on that parade after, I guess. But what did you see against Florida that led you to believe that?
Our preparation was poor. I thought we'd lose to Florida, to be honest. Our preparation, I thought, was really poor. If we lost to Florida, we'd have had their attention for Arkansas. It kind of goes both ways. But, our preparation was poor going into Florida. We were very fortunate to win that game. And our preparation was poor going into Arkansas as well. So, does that answer your question?
But did you say anything technically that you wanted to fix right away?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff I wanted to fix, but they were so happy in the locker room. I don't want to just go in there. I never want to take the fun out of winning, even though sometimes I do, but I try not to, especially an SEC road game. Like, that was our first SEC road win. Those are not easy to come by. In the situation we were in. And then the problem was on Thursday, I couldn't get through to him in the film session because the stuff I was showing that I wasn't real happy about, well, Coach, we won. We pulled it out. Yeah, but we're not going to keep pulling out, games like that if we can't get this corrected. So, I did a poor job of communicating what I needed to communicate to the guys to really turn it. And so I guess that would be why.
Well, I think you
guys
said
got matching
we do. We do.
matching pullovers on.
Yes. We it wasn't planned. It's just a little chill in the air. I think you said you think your team can be better than what it's shown, even when things have been going good. So how sure are you, or questioning, are you thinking that you can fix the problems that you have and be better and be the team that
I'm a
reaches
coach.
its
I always
potential?
think I can fix everything. That's the nature of what we do. You put duct tape here and another hole. You got to go duct tape this hole, and then that one springs a leak, and you go to this one, and I'm confident. It's just a little bit late in the year. I'm confident we can get the turnover stuff under control. I'm confident I can get that better. I'm not saying we'll get it like great, but I'm confident we can get it to 10 to 12 as opposed to 16, which is what we're averaging in SEC play right now. So I feel best about that. We've shown at times we can be a good defensive rebounding team. We've just we just haven't been consistently. So I do think for certain games we can get good at the defensive rebounding. I'm not sure we're going to be consistent enough with that. But I think we can, on a game-by-game basis, we can be good enough with that. The free throw shooting, we've got good shooters. That's just trusting your routine and knocking them in. I've probably been the most surprised with that. Because we put a lot of time into that. They all have routines. They all have certain things that they do, and we haven't been as solid as we need to be there. But I think I'm most confident in getting the turnovers and just being clean with the ball. It's not even the turnovers; just we're not clean with the ball. That's part of the reason we can't score is our timing's off, moving the ball. We have poor spacing. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it besides just there's a lot of stuff that leads to a turnover. You see the end result, which is the turnover, but usually it happens because of poor spacing, poor decision-making, not setting things up at the beginning of the game. We make ourselves so easy to guard because we do the same thing over and over and over again. And so, we just gotta learn. We got to learn and set things up, set things up better. Like, when's the last time one of y'all saw us drive right and pitch the ball out to the corner? Never, right? Well, if you don't ever do that, what are they going to do? They're going to load in on your drives, and we're going to shoot those wild layups we shoot. We're going to miss them. Like, you have to set things up. Just pitch it to the corner 2 or 3 times at the beginning of the game. Then the guy's going to stay out there, and then you can drive it in there and get a layup. But we don't do anything to make it simple on ourselves. We don't change speeds. We play at one speed. We either play really, really fast or we play really, really slow. Like, you got to be able to play fast, stop. Play medium, fast. Like, you got to be, like, that's how you beat people up to, like, that's how, you got to have that pace. And, you can say what you want about some of the players. Like, you think about Watford, and I know people didn't, he's a hell of a player. But at the 4 spot for us, it looked slow, but then he could turn it on and slow it back down, and then he could drive it hard and go into a post up and back them down. Like, that's why he plays in the NBA. That's why he's playing 15 minutes a game right now for the Trailblazers as a 5. But, like, that's the sort of stuff that you got to have, and the point guard's got to be able to, we got to change speeds. We don't make it easy on ourselves we don't set anything up. We just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And you got to set stuff up. And we make the game very difficult on ourselves, and I've been frustrated because I just haven't been able to get through to our guys on how to make it. We have good offensive players, we have good offensive talent. We just make it difficult on ourselves.
I was curious, you said Thursday that you could tell the message wasn't getting in. When do you know the message is getting in? Is it verbally from them, or is it at practice when you see it?
I can tell just watching them sit there and what they take in. I can tell just by their facial expressions how they react. You just have a sixth sense. You know those guys. You've been around them a long time. You know when it's getting through and when it's not getting through. And so you could tell it wasn't. But nothing we could do. We'll see today.
Anything else?
Harrison, you're working the mic. You don't have a question?
No.